Good evening, this is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the programme this evening, huge political controversy today over the sacking of Governor Kamla Beniwal, who had major run-ins with Narendra Modi in Gujarat when he was Chief Minister. The BJP cites serious allegations against the 87-year-old governor for her removal, but the Congress has called it vendetta. What's the real story? That's our big debate tonight. Well, the centre has accused Governor Kamla Beniwal of gross impropriety with accusations ranging from the misuse of the state plane when she was Governor of Gujarat, as well as allegations in a land scam in Rajasthan. But the Congress has called it vendetta and asked why Ms. Beniwal was first transferred to Mizoram last month and then sacked last night with just 2 months to go for her term. Kamla Beniwal and Narendra Modi had no love lost when she was in Gujarat. Sudhir Ranjan Sen has more.
Guilty of gross impropriety, as sources say the government has said in its file to the president recommending her sacking, or is Mizoram Governor Kamla Beniwal a victim of vendetta? While many in the opposition say it is downright unconstitutional, some are objecting to the manner in which the 87-year-old was treated. First transferred from Gujarat to Mizoram last month and then sacked just 2 months before her term was to end.
It is illegal, it is unconstitutional, and I think it smacks of political vendetta.
This is a clear-cut violation of Supreme Court judgment.
In 2004, when the UPA government had sacked 4 NDA governors, BJP leader Singhal had challenged it, and the Supreme Court said governors could not be removed just because they weren't in sync with the government at the centre, but only if there was proven misconduct or other irregularities. The BJP feels it has the grounds.
Action is taken within the rules, within the constitution.
While no official reason has been given for Beniwal's removal, sources say the government's advice to the president accused her of gross impropriety for being in Mizoram for just 1 day since she took over as governor, filing a false affidavit to get cheap land meant for farmers. But so far there is no FIR or probe underway in the case. Beniwal has also been accused of using official aircraft for visits to her home state. But according to the protocol, to be able to use state aircraft, she would have had to inform and get clearance from the state government.
Suppose she accepts this, then the matter rests there. Suppose she takes it to a court of law, then court will examine all these issues.
But the strained history Beniwal has had with Modi is undeniable. They have clashed over the appointment of the Gujarat Lokayukta. Beniwal made an appointment without the Modi government's consent. And then when the state government passed a Lokayukta bill to override her decision, she sent back the bill to the assembly.
The sacking of Beniwal raises question about others too, like Sheila Dikshit. The former Chief Minister of Delhi was appointed by the Congress, and against her too there are allegations of wrongdoing in the Commonwealth Games. In Jaipur with Harsha Kumari Singh and in New Delhi with Sunil Prabhu and Arunachalam Vaidyanathan, Sudhir Ranjan Sen for NDTV.
Well, a major political row has broken out over that development since last night. Joining us on the program this evening, we have Congress leader and former MP Sachin Pilot joining us this evening from Jaipur. Senior lawyer Dushyant Dave joins us tonight. Aarti Jairath is in the studio with us and we'll be joined by Rajiv Pratap Rudy of the BJP shortly. Dushyant Dave, to you first, just from a constitutional point of view. Now, we've heard the Congress party say today that this move to remove Kamla Beniwal was unconstitutional, that it went against the Supreme Court, which had said that you cannot arbitrarily remove governors, that there must be compelling reasons to do so. Do you agree with what their assessment is, or do you think that this government was well within its rights to remove Kamla Beniwal?
Well, I personally feel that government is absolutely on the wrong path insofar as sacking the governor is concerned. It's constitutionally not only improper, but it is, I think, immoral constitutionally to do so. And government would have been well advised, to wait for 2 months for her to retire. But apparently government wanted to send a message of victimization or vindictiveness, and that's why they have chosen this path, in this fashion. So I personally feel that it really sends an extremely poor signal from a government which has promised to, govern on much better principles than Congress had done as per their claims. And therefore, it was really unexpected of the Prime Minister to have really, resorted to this. So there is no doubt that it is unconstitutionally illegal and improper.
But Dushit Dave, the government has not officially cited the reasons why she has been removed, but we are given to understand that there have been a series of allegations against her, among them that she misused the state aircraft when she was governor of Gujarat. Those details have been coming out now, that there is allegations of land grab against her in Rajasthan, that she wasn't paying enough attention to Mizoram since she was sent there last month. Now, those are the reasons that are privately cited. Do you believe that those should be made public? Those should be put on record officially, what the reasons are then?
See, there are two things. One, that it is not really unexpected of the governors to behave as it is alleged now against Srimati Kamla Beniwal. You know, every governor is not Gopal Gandhi. And it is therefore very common for the governors. We have had all kinds of governors in last 20 years who have been abusing their position, and the Raj Bhavan has become a private fiefdom of these governors who are spending hundreds of crores of rupees of public money for their personal comforts, for their families' comforts. They are truly abusing the office of the governor. There is no doubt about that. And I personally feel that if BJP has the material against the governor, and I suspect that there is some amount of justification for that material from my personal knowledge for a long time against Srimati Kamla Beniwal, BJP should put it on the forefront, because I don't think this is a matter where anybody is going to challenge her sacking, much less the governor herself. So I think people should be entitled to know how governors function, but I do hope and pray that the BJP government would have the same kind of a yardstick for other governors whom they have appointed, because every one of them ends up abusing the office.
All right, we are waiting for the BJP spokesperson to join us, but Sachin Pilot, notwithstanding what the government has done and what you're accusing them of, Kamla Beniwal also doesn't appear to be a saint. I mean, she does have very serious allegations against her, for instance, about using the state aircraft to go out of Gujarat 63 times in 3 years between 2011 and 2014. She travelled to Jaipur some 53 times, which is her hometown, citing them as official trips. There are serious allegations of her in an alleged land scam in Rajasthan as well, although yes, there is no charge sheet or FIR in that, but those allegations are there. So on the basis of impropriety, the BJP can turn around and say that, look, there are these issues with her, and we are well within our rights to remove her.
Well, first of all, I don't think being a saint is a pre-qualification to become a governor. No governor is a saint, and none of us are saints. But the fact remains that we are missing the larger point. It is not about the reasons cited by the BJP government for sacking of Ms. Beniwal. The issue is very clear. The government of the day wants to send a message to everybody loud and clear that if you don't toe our line, if you don't follow our ideology, you will meet the same fate. And even if you are occupying the position of the governor of a state in this country, you will not be spared. This message has gone on very clearly to all the bureaucrats, all the judges, and anybody who hold any position, because this is clearly arm twisting and pushing somebody out of office just 2 months before her term ends. You pointed out a few things about Ms. Beniwal, about using the state plane. Now, she didn't hire a private jet to fly somewhere. You have to ask the government of the day, and no less than the chief minister sanctions your travel outside the state. And might I also inform you, every time the governor leaves her or his state, he or she has to take permission of the President of India. And all these things are nothing out of the ordinary. So today, after having sacked Ms. Beniwal, the government is coming up with flimsy excuses as to why they sacked her. The decision to sack her has been done. And if at all they had to dismiss her, why transfer her from Gujarat to Mizoram? I think this is just political vendetta. This is completely unconstitutional, and this has been done only with the idea to set an example in the eyes of the people who hold high positions, that if you don't follow ideology, you will be given the boot. Forget about impropriety. There has to be some legality, some precedence of procedures. You can't treat the governor of this state, no matter what background he or she has. Kamla Beniwal has been a politician for 60 years in this state, and all these issues about land and land grab, etc., are all frivolous. They will never be proved because there is no iota of truth in it. That apart, the way it was done, you summarily dismiss somebody 2 months before her expiry of her term, I think is something that will not help the foundations of our democracy. And in our system of governance, the governor acts on the will of the state government, and not also forgetting that Ms. Beniwal was one who gave permission of the prosecution of a minister in the state government of Gujarat while she was governor. She appointed a Lokayukt without which the government was functioning for 3 years. So there has been animosity perhaps for some other reasons, but you can't cite those reasons as her reasons for removal. So they're citing her travel by an airplane, etc., etc.
So let me take that to Rajiv Pratap Rudy. Mr. Rudy, what officially is the reason then for Kamla Beniwal's removal? Like I said, all we have heard is what we're getting on background from sources. But officially on record, what is the reason that the government felt she should go?
Well, I'd just like to draw in few facts. First fact is that the president, whoever takes a call on dismissal of a governor, does act on the advice of the cabinet, and that has been enshrined in the Article 74 of the Constitution. And at the same time, in the Constitution, it has been very well indicated that Article 156 is the authority of the president to sack a governor, and Article 155 is there to appoint a governor. Now, if you recall, in post 2004, when NDA lost its government, and there were a couple of governors, which was the Uttar Pradesh governor, the Haryana governor, the Goa governor, all were sacked by the then UPA government. Now, some people went to the court, and the court did give a ruling that you cannot do it for political reasons, and there has to be sufficient grounds to dismiss a government. And then it was also suggested that the government has to take a call, and once the Supreme Court had intervened and said that means that if any decision is taken by the government, it can be challenged in the court of law. This was the wider spirit of it. But the Supreme Court very categorically said that it is not expected, the government has to take a call, and the government should take a considered call, and if it is appropriate and if the person who is aggrieved can always go to the court. Now here what our friends in the Congress, they should realize that the government has a prerogative to remove a governor if it deems fit. Now, if you say what could be the reasons, possible reason, the lady governess is a suspect. Her behavior in holding the constitutional position in Gujarat was partisan, and that was proved because there were a lot of issues cropping up in Gujarat, and as if she was there to tame the state government of Gujarat. Beyond that, there were several other allegations.
No, but Mr. Rudy, that's an important admission. You admit the differences with the then Chief Minister of Gujarat. And
there was a situation where the union government was allowing the governess to misuse her constitutional position. But let it be apart. There are charges of land grab, and she has been. Can you imagine a lady governess who gets this political position? Takes some land and says she was working as a field labor for 14 to 16 hours, and then she gets a land allotted in her name. She's also been accused, among many more things, there is a judicial probe which has been conducted. She has been accused of a book scam where she bought and purchased called the Bafna book depot scam, where she purchased books worth 2 rupees for 20 rupees. Then there is a 1996 judgment of the Supreme Court which endorsed the report of the Rajasthan Lokayukt, which concluded that Beniwal and other high-ups were responsible for land grab and in the Jaipur Development Authority. If you look into the background of this lady governess so-called, it is the governor has to be beyond suspicion, and here was
so why was she transferred to Mizoram? Why was she transferred to Mizoram, Mr. Rudy? Why not then dismiss her right away?
Yes, this is a very valid question. The government had just come to power, then there were charges against her. And no government would act suo moto unless until the charges are specific, and the government has taken a considered opinion. And all this period in 2 months, and it's not been very long, it's about not more than 45 days. And we have substantive evidence, but we don't want to wash dirty linen in public. What we have done actually here is
but what is that evidence? Because there is no charge sheet or FIR in the land issue. 1 second. As far as the issue of her using the state plane is concerned, the state government would have been in the know of that, because she has to take the state government's permission for that. So it's not like the Gujarat government didn't know. So what changed?
Here something very important.
Yeah.
Can I state here something? A judicial court in Jaipur had asked of FIR to be instituted against her as a governor. And this was against a PIL, against a land scam case. The judicial court did order an FIR to be instituted against her, but since she was holding a constitutional post, this was disallowed. So when you say no FIR was lodged, n number of inquiries
when did that judicial order come?
And it is a shame. And it's a shame that the Congress party, having lost the majority, having lost the mandate, want to stick to every political position they can hold. So their identity crisis is so much, they should realize that it's a BJP's government, it's a responsible government which has got a mandate now. And whatever, why are they wanting, they want the leader of the opposition post when they do not fulfill the numbers.
No, but Mr.
They want to hold back to the governors.
What is the new evidence you got between the time you transferred her to Mizoram and today? What is the new evidence that you have against her?
You see, this question is incorrect, because you cannot ask the government. Government has, on the advice of the cabinet, the president has taken a call, and you have to trust the decision of the government. And if you have to dispute it, you cannot dispute it with the spokesperson of the BJP. Go to the court and there is a reprieve. But here you want to debate it politically. She is not beyond suspicion. She has misused her constitutional position. There are charges against her in public, and this amount of suspicion for a common man is good enough to say that such people should not have been made governor at all, even in the past.
But you've also said very
revealingly, for the Congress party,
you've also said very revealingly that she had problems with the Gujarat government, that you felt that she was being partisan towards the Gujarat government when she was Gujarat governor. So that reveals that the history, the rather strained history that she shared with Mr. Modi then, is that a factor in this?
No, that is, it has been proven, it's been proven that she has been misusing her constitutional positions. She had been holding back bills and legislation of the state government. She has been defiant and acted as a she should have acted as a non-partisan. She has been working as an agent of the Congress in a BJP ruled state. So naturally, you don't expect the state government, where losses were incurred because of her actions, where the central government, when the money which was allotted or entitled for the state government could not be drawn, because she had held up certain bills which had the provision of drawing in and making some schemes and getting, but her actions in fact was culpable. As a governor, she was acting against the interest of the state.
Okay,
now, if such
Mr.
person
Rudy,
was acting as an agent of the government, then naturally you have to. But you see, the end point here is, if the government of the day is satisfied that this person or individual or the lady governess is not, the post she is holding is not, she does not befit that post, every right is there. But we are not supposed to bring all this in public. But if someone has to dispute,
why not?
No, one second. I'm really surprised at Rudy. He says, I don't want to wash dirty linen in public. I don't want to bring all this in the public. Yet for the last several minutes, all we've heard is all kinds of allegations against this lady. Now, I mean, none of it has been proved. None of it has been proved. Rudy, you have no business making allegations, rubbishing. This is total character assassination. This is total character assassination. There will be no inquiry, no charging, no proof, nothing. And you are just going on one after another, a whole litany of allegations against this lady. I'm really surprised at you. And that too, somebody who's held the office of governor. Listen,
Mr. Rudy, just give her a second.
Lady governess who is corrupt.
See, look at the allegations you're making. Where have the charges of corruption been proved? I'm sorry, Rudy, I'm not a spokesperson for Kamla Beniwal, but you cannot make an allegation that somebody is corrupt when there is absolutely no proof of it. These are allegations.
No.
And I'm sorry, and you said that you don't want to bring it in public. Why are you then going on making these allegations?
No. So why was she behaving like that? Why are there inquiries ordered against her?
Rudy, can
why
somebody else speak?
Why were the inquiries ordered by the judicial magistrate?
Rudy, are you going to allow anybody to speak, or are you just going to hog the whole show?
As independent observers freak out as if
Please,
no,
Rudy,
my submission is
let her finish her point.
Let's be fair about this.
They are the conscious people of the society.
Mr. Rudy, just give her a second. Let her finish her point. I'm giving everybody a chance to speak. You don't have that problem on this program. Yes, Aarti, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, because my throat is really hurting.
So is mine. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm really surprised, because look at the kind of allegations he's reading off, without any inquiry, without any proof, nothing. So, and then he says he doesn't want to wash dirty linen in public.
No, so let me ask Mr. Jainarayan Vyas. Mr. Jainarayan Vyas, you are with the Gujarat BJP. How will you escape How will you escape the allegation that the BJP is not acting out of vendetta here and is actually, acting in public interest, that there are serious allegations that warranted this kind of action? Mr. Vyas.
Well, for a change, I think my friend Rajiv Prasad has adequately brought certain points to the discussion. Without bringing any personality into the picture, I like to say what is the clinical position? What is the legal position? The position is that the governor can be dismissed by the President of India on advice from the Council of Ministers. Now, if you say that the Council of Ministers was biased, a number of incidences, President of India has referred the matter back to the Council of Ministers for rethinking. So, I don't think at one breath Congress will say that even the President of India did not apply the mind and he was also biased to take this decision. That is one thing. Second thing, they are tom-tomming from the rooftop. Tell us the reasons. Now, what is the Supreme Court judgment? Supreme Court judgment is that the governors can be dismissed in case they are able to establish that there is a mala fide, there is a vendetta, or somebody has acted under some kind of a prejudice against them, then
the Supreme Court order said that if there are compelling reasons for proven misconduct or other irregularities.
Where is the proof in this?
Where is the proven misconduct?
Before whom? Before whom? Before the Supreme Court of India. Before it is required to be made, it is Supreme Court of India. And now understand, second point I would like to make. Gubernatorial office is the highest constitutional office in the state. And therefore, its budget is also not discussed by the State Assembly. Now, you expect this highest constitutional office to behave much more disciplined as far as the financial matters are concerned. Suppose, in case of the governor, some officer or some staff would have done this, that official visits were shown for his personal work, he would have straight away been suspended and inquired.
But Mr. Vyas, the Gujarat government didn't know.
Now, third point, you
every
say
time she used the state plane, the Gujarat government had to know. You had to give her permission to use it.
This is not the decision of the Gujarat government. Third, I am telling you why she was required to be shifted. It is usually a practice that a person against whom you are investigating is not permitted to stay at a location so that the person cannot tamper with the evidences.
No, one second.
These are established legal practices.
Are you saying the Gujarat government was unaware when she took the state plane? When she took the state plane 60 plus times to outside the state, did the state government not know? Because, it's a state plane. It's not like driving a car out of a garage. It's very different.
The state plane when demanded by the governor, it is presumed that she is going to use it for the purpose of any official work. Now, the state government cannot inquire into the behavior of a gubernatorial office.
You didn't think it was odd that she was going so many times?
So, where is the state government in picture?
No, you didn't think it was odd that she was going so many times?
No, but state government has no authority, much less the business. The state government has not the authority, much less the business, because constitutionally, the governor is the head of the government. And I don't think the state government will be in its own right to ask these questions and then they get the reply. It was not possible. It was only then when now the matter was put under the scrutiny, His Excellency the President of India must have been convinced that yes, it is a serious misconduct.